Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, hope it's not in the middle of the night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our advanced trainings with Healy. My name is Petra. If you're new here, welcome. We love having you. This is advanced training session. So if you are completely new to Healy, I would encourage you to start at Healy Academy. We have so much knowledge up there in Healy Academy, and of course we have the basic classes for Healy new users. What we do here in advanced trainings is we dive deeper. So we dive deeper into topics, we dive deeper into the energetics, we dive deeper into the body, we dive deeper into the mindset, because we are working on a quantum field with Healy. And tonight I wanted to give, well, I wanted to give you a bit of a different approach to things. So we've talked about a lot of things through the years, but before we dive deep tonight into our topic of connecting Healy and frequency and nature, let's do some housework. And we are going to look at how you can translate my English language into yours. I'm just going to start sharing the screen so you can actually see it. Okay, so if you do not understand me and my English, sometimes it can be a bit broken. I'm sorry for that. And you can scan the QR code on the screen. You can choose the language you want my language to be translated in, and this is in the app on your phone, and you can listen in your own language translation. I will be speaking in English, in my own kind of language of English. Sometimes I just make up words, so I'm sorry for that. I just go with the flow, and it's more fun anyway. So language is an evolving thing anyway, and it should be a descriptive thing of what we're feeling and how we're seeing things. It helps us give more clear intentions. It helps us understand things and connect. So hopefully this will be clear enough for you today. But today we do have an interesting topic. It's one of actually the things that I love the most about frequency. And we've talked about this through, waving it into the topics, and we've built on it and everything. But it's something that it's really simplistic in its essence, but it's something that majority of us still forgets, that nature is a big part of our healing. And not only healing, nature is a big part of us, of who we are. So tonight we are looking at Healy in nature. Yeah, so Healy as frequency therapy. And we're going to look at it, how we can amplify the bioenergetic benefits of Healy programs with nature, in nature, through nature, and why Healy and nature go hand in hand really well. And we're going to look at programs that actually support all of that, so you can come back to nature. So before we start doing anything, as always, housekeeping, anything that you hear here, so anything that you listen in, anything that I say, anything that we discuss, all the questions that are asked and answered, this is purely for educational purposes. Yeah, so make sure that you do your due diligence, that you take your own personal responsibility for your body and for your actions and for your behavior and your health, and that you always check with yourself if this is something that works for you. Do not take anything as fact. Yeah, what I share here is my knowledge, is my experience, and for those of you who have been following me and know me for a while, know me that I like to experiment. I'm a practical person. I love to try new things, and I always test things on myself before I actually give it to you, before I give you anything that I share with you here, or through guides or anything that I give you. I test it on myself. So this is my personal experience, and I've been doing this since I was little. I drew my mom, literally, I was driving my mom crazy. So, but this is who I am, and that's what I do best. So make sure this is only for educational purposes, as we know that Healy and Mag Healy devices, although we love them so much, they do not, and they're not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, prevent, any disease, especially medical conditions. So we need to make sure that we use Healy as an information frequency therapy. So information um, guidance of creating an environment within our body. Why is that important? Because information in quantum field is everything. Yeah. So if you want to have anything on a physical level, you need to start with information, the input that you put in. So we are creating an environment where the body knows its own intelligence and it knows how to come back to balance. And we're going to look at that, how we can come back to balance with that body's own intelligence. So today I thought, I don't know if you've been feeling it. I always ask questions and I'm curious, but today in the last 6 months or past few months as well, I've been having a lot of people connecting with me and I've been having conversations and people have been talking to me and letting me know that it's been quite intense, it's been quite overwhelming. And we all live in this really interesting world of our own perspectives. And today, as we have the session with nature and healing and frequencies, I want to start it a bit differently. So I would like to take you through a short meditation so you can actually connect with your body and nature, and then we're going to dive in. So why I want to do that first, so before we dive in, is we tend to absorb all this information from the field, yeah, and we tend to utilize and use and overuse our heads and our brains and never get that into the body. Because body has wisdom, body holds information, body knows the rhythm. And we forget that we are so supported, that wherever we live, wherever we are, wherever we go, we have the connection of the community at our fingertips. And I'm not talking about, people go, yeah, it's easy for you, you have friends. No, I have friends, I build them, and I have that community around me. But even if you don't have a loving family, even if you don't have a lot of friends around you, even if you don't have a lot of people that, can hold you and hold your space, nature is always there. Nature, God, creator, what universe, whatever you want to call it, is always there because we're all interconnected. So I just want to give you a short intro into that so we can actually connect to the body so we can easily absorb that information. You okay with that? Let me know. Oh, forgot about this one. So before we dive in, all the recordings you always can find on Healy APAC YouTube channel I think it's called Learning Hub now. You can always join my Facebook group if you want to connect with me and ask questions in the group and have the support of the group. So I'm popping into the chat right now. It's a link to the Facebook group if you want to join. You have all my resources in there. You have all the trainings, and you can ask questions in the group. The group is amazing. You can get all the information in there to support you. But now let's dive in to our beautiful connection. So I'm just gonna hope everybody can hear me. I'm just gonna start. Let me see how this works. No, wrong one. Let me see. Can everybody hear the sound? Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear the sound. Okay, perfect. Okay, so take a deep breath wherever you're sitting, on a chair or bed or floor. Take a deep breath and just close your eyes. When you inhale, just take in all the air of the environment. And with exhale, I want you to exhale anything that's holding you back, that feels heavy from the day, from the morning, from the previous day, if it's still with you. I just want you to focus on your breath. Focus on your breath and the space of your heart. And I want you to feel the space of your heart and slowly turning to the back of your heart. I want you to slowly start walking to the back of your heart towards the door. And I want you to open that door and enter this beautiful forest behind it. I want you to start walking into the forest and start feeling the sensations of this beautiful environment. This fresh, cold breeze on your skin. The smell of this fresh air around you. The sun touching your face. The waterfall and the stream flowing through the forest. You can hear the sounds of the water. Now I want you to find a place that you love, that feels comfortable enough in that forest, that feels safe enough. And I want you to imagine this beautiful energy of the sun touching your face, moving through your body, down through your legs. And you imagine growing roots into the soil. All of a sudden touching this beautiful network underneath the soil where all the forest is connected. And you can feel how beautifully you are accepted. All of a sudden you get this beautiful rush of energy through the body that feels calm and warm, inviting and loving and accepting. And all of a sudden you become a part of this beautiful forest family. The trees are nourishing you, regenerating you and loving you. And you're a part of this beautiful community. You're supported, you're accepted. And you can feel your whole body filling up with this beautiful calm energy. I want you to take a deep breath in and feel it in every cell of your body. The connection, the love of this beautiful community, hugging you and supporting you. You feel completely at ease, completely supported. Now that your cup is full, you thank this beautiful forest and these beautiful big giants around you for all the support and love that they gave you. You let them know that you'll be back, that you love spending time with them. And you take a deep breath in, of all that fresh air, and exhale through the body, releasing the last bit of tension. And with this new renewed energy in your body, you start slowly walking back towards the door. Towards your heart. And slowly coming back into your space of the heart and to the body. Taking a deep breath in through the heart and feeling it in your every cell of the body, this beautiful forest energy of fresh, loving light. Bringing that vibe into your physical body. I want you to focus on your breath in your heart and your belly. Taking a deep breath in, and with exhale, I want you to start feeling the chair that you're sitting on, the environment that you have around you, the air of the space, the room, the house, the noises around you. And another deep breath in. And with exhale, I want you to slowly start wiggling your toes and your arms and your shoulders, coming back into the space of the body. Still holding the feeling of this beautiful connection in your heart. Welcome back. Hope everybody's okay, that I didn't put you to sleep. Welcome back. Okay, how did everybody feel after this little connection? It was not a long one because we can't have a really long one. I could sit there for hours, but let me know in the chat how you felt. Did you feel nature? Amazing. Did you feel the sounds in your ears and the feeling of the fresh air on your skin? Peaceful, yes. And that was lovely, yes. Light, relaxing, beautiful, grounding, yes. So you see, I don't know how many of you are actually sitting in nature right now, but no matter if you are in nature or not, nature has these beautiful frequencies, a symphony of frequencies that when we touch into it through the quantum field, we become of it because we are of it. So when we are looking at nature, we are nature. And the bioenergetic blueprint of who we are is nature. And nature is our bioenergetic blueprint. So when we are looking at healing or even business manifestation, anything that you would like to create through frequencies, or anything that you would like to support through frequencies, when we are trying to change and shift something that is out of balance, we need to first lay the foundation for the frequency healing, which actually means going back to the basics. And I know a lot of you mentally know that and you're aware of that. And you probably have heard of this 10,000 times before. My question to you is, are you implementing it? Are you actually building the foundation of the basics before you apply anything else that could support it? Because we forget that nature is actually, and nature's rhythms, and we're going to go through that and what we actually need as a foundation, is what builds us. And the frequencies that we use through Healy are complementary to actually boost and amplify what already exists. And if something is out of balance, we need to actually go to the root cause of the problem and change the foundation before we add anything onto it. So, in essence, we know that we are energy beings. Every cell of our body is electrically charged. We have electricity and energy and light. And our cells communicate through frequency and light. And this is our essence. And we can't pretend that if this is how we work, that avoiding sunlight or avoiding anything that's natural and fixing it with magic pills, yeah, whatever that will be, that's a metaphor, it's going to change the reality. It is going to shift certain things, but we need to go to the foundation. You are a part of Earth's electromagnetic system, and you're a part of the ecosystem of the entire planet. You're not separate. So if you treat yourself as separate and anything within your body as separate, and you're looking at this is the symptom, this is the problem, you are boxing yourself out and you're not a part of the community of that beautiful forest that you just experienced. I don't know if you know, but so we know that your body lives in rhythm with nature, and we know that we are part of it. And science and new research, for our 3D brain, our intuition knew that since forever. But our 3D brain sometimes needs proof, which I'm not really a fan of, because I believe that believing is seeing and not vice versa, vice versa. But science is proving that trees are actually supporting each other through the mycelium network. So if a tree is sick, the other trees will actually support it and nourish it and feed it. And if a tree is dying, other trees will actually support it so it could live again and start growing again. And so are you a part of this huge community of nature. People, animals, any plants around us have a magnetic field, and they have frequency, and they can feel you. The new research actually shows that plants are conscious, and they have a magnetic field that actually can connect and attach to their owner. And plants can actually feel the magnetic field of their owner 2 kilometers outside of their home. And they've noticed plants, when they feel the owner's energetic field, they will become more beautiful for the owner when it comes home. So their leaves will become more green. They will start blooming, or if they're already blooming, they will actually open their flowers and their beautiful colors to become more vibrant in order to actually give back in energy. So we are all conscious and we all have frequency. So nothing is separate. So don't forget that when you are trying to heal something and bring it back to balance, you need to actually look at the whole system. So our whole system is an ecosystem, like our planet is. Our bioenergetic field is an ecosystem of our body. And our bioenergetic field is really sensitive. When we are out of alignment, even so, more so. So when we are out of alignment, our bioenergetic systems, our aura fields, our energetic fields, they're all really sensitive and can get agitated quite fast. But even when our bioenergetic systems and fields are actually strong, they're still sensitive to information around them. And they can get influenced by your environment, your emotions and thoughts, your nature's rhythms around you. And we need to understand that your field equals your energetic antenna. So we need to understand that we are energetic beings and we function like energetic beings, meaning that if our field is an antenna, it's like a radio that actually needs clear antenna and low interference to tune in clearly. So when you have that static on the radio, yeah, you need to tune in properly. The same happens with your field. Yeah, so when we are sensitive and we're not in tune with nature, we're not in rhythms with nature, we are impacted by environments that are agitated through EMFs and stress and all of that, influences our thoughts, which are negative and toxic thoughts, which also come from suppressed emotions. Our antenna and our tuning is a bit, it needs refining. Yeah. So why do we need refining? It's because our cells also have a magnetic field and they receive frequency better, which is information. Yeah, frequency equals information. They receive information and frequency better when you are grounded, when you are calm, and when you're connected to nature. I don't know if you know that, but I think there was a study done of camping, I think it was. Um, and I think they said that 3 days of camping in nature without technology has effects for a month on your body. So we need to understand that nature, although we can mimic nature in so many different frequency and devices and meditations and music and all of it, but it's not the same thing. So we are still lacking the essential part of those elements, and we're going to look at the elements and what they do to us and why they're so important. We can only mimic them. Nature is what it does best, and we can't humanize that and make it better than nature itself. So how does Healy come into all this picture? Well, Healy is actually the work in your field. So Healy frequencies and programs is what you do as supporting your field and working on your field in order to make it smoother. Yeah, the surface of the field, so there's less interactions and distractions. So Healy is beautiful because it has harmonic frequencies and it also has resonance frequency, and it does not force healing. It does not push or force anything. It actually resonates and supports your body's innate intelligence in order to come back to balance, to nature's rhythm, to natural rhythms of who we are. Because those rhythms is what makes us thrive. And if you are wanting healing on any level, you need to look at the root cause of what is actually going on here. Where am I out of balance? Of what rhythm am I out of balance? I'm not saying that that's an easy thing to do because we live in the cities majority of times and we are bombarded with so many things, and the systems that we live in are literally more and more disconnecting us from nature. But nature, no matter how many frequencies we apply, and we're going to look at why Healy's frequencies are so important and good, is no matter how many frequencies we apply, nature itself amplifies and clarifies these frequencies in our energetic work, in our energetic field, in our balance and rhythms. And when we combine Healy and nature together, what we have is bioenergetic coherence. Now we can repair things faster. We can build the foundation and literally unlock the frequencies that were stored in the body, that were agitating to the body and to our bioenergetic field. And we can help ourselves with beautiful healing frequencies and programs that actually harmonic and resonant to our bodies. And we now replace and regenerate those elements within our bioenergetic field much faster. And with Healy and nature, we actually support our natural energetic blueprint, and we have a deeper healing and regeneration. This is why I love using Healy together with the foundational elements of nature. And that's why I've been talking to you about all these elements. We're going to go through them and why Healy frequencies are actually better utilized and implemented when you ground or when you're in the sunshine or whatever elements we're going to look at. So it's all important. It all comes together as different pieces of a puzzle. So let's look at first what are natural rhythms and why are they so important. And then we're going to look at Healy frequencies and where they come from. And we're going to look at how we can actually utilize the frequencies of Healy and how we can combine them with natural elements to actually have a better amplified effect. We all know a lot about natural rhythms, but natural rhythms are also our healing rhythms. So we forget, we try to put ourselves in our mind, what programs do I need to do? Like I get all these questions and I'm getting all your messages and I'm trying to have a conversation with you. And all I get asked 90% of the time is what program to do for this? What program to do for this? You're always forgetting that you need to look at the environment and what actually is causing the situation that you're in. What rhythms are out of balance? You need to go and look at those first before you're going to support anything else. Because whatever symptoms or whatever labels you have currently, yeah, on your list, or whatever list of the doctors you are visiting, your body is telling you that something is out of balance. And you need to look at those rhythms around you. So what are the rhythms and why do they matter? So we know that our bodies, they actually follow the nature's clock. We all know, we heard of the organ clock by Chinese traditional medicine. We know by natural cycles, we had the training on that. You know, we have different timings and there's phases of the moon, there's sun and all of that. It's influencing our rhythms. But in essence, our biology is deeply connected to the rhythms of sunrise and sunset, lunar phases, tides, and seasons. I've experienced that on my body many times. I've moved from Europe to Australia and my body has experienced season issues. I was used to cold winters and hot summers, and now I live in Queensland where it's majority of the time it's always hot. And I can see how my body is lacking the cold. And for example, seasons, I was used to really, really strict seasons throughout the year. And the body was used to getting the cycles of regeneration and healing, and then, you know, reset and then activation and all of that. Now it's all through the year, it's almost the same. And my body is kind of out of rhythm and it's kind of lacking the motivation and energy to move through the cycles and the seasons. So I've been noticing this on my body and been craving snow for a while now, which is really interesting because my body knows that it's missing something, it needs something. So it's really important to listen to our bodies. And as soon as these disruptions of rhythms occur, it can come from stress, it can come from technology, it can come from poor sleep and poor habits, it can come from shift work. This is the most disruptive thing to your rhythm into your body. It's hard, I know, because that's the most taxing one on your body in the circadian rhythm and everything else that follows. And when we have the disruption, this actually leads to dysregulation and eventually dis-ease. Because the longer the dysregulation and disruption is, the more you are depleting the energy in your cells, the more you are bringing your body out of alignment, the more you're bringing your body in the state of dis-ease instead of ease and alignment. So we need to understand that our bodies actually heal best when they move with natural cycles. And now natural cycles are nature cycles, not against it, with it. So we tend to try, especially when we live in the cities and we don't have other options and we are bombarded with EMFs and agitated frequencies, we try to mimic certain things, but just the park, it's not the same as forest. And grounding, you know, I have grounding sheets, don't get me wrong, but nothing beats the day in nature and forest and swimming in the ocean. We need to understand that we can mimic certain things to kind of make compromises, but they're never the same as nature itself. So we need to bring ourselves to go into the environment, to immerse ourselves in nature, because nature really does heal. And we also need to move with nature. Nature can be still and stagnant, but it always is moving, and sometimes it can be violently moving around. But our daily movements through nature, especially going for a walk in a forest or surrounded by trees or anywhere that you have animals like birds and things like that, and especially movement, you don't have to force yourself to run or do stuff, but hiking, walking, things that are natural for the body, they move because movement of our energy is also movement of our liquids within the body. So the more we move our lymphatics, so lymphatic flow, it helps move the toxins. The more we move our liquids of, structured water, lymph, all of that, fascia, the more we can integrate frequency within the body, because we release old, we bring in new. And we also have better energy regulation, because the body doesn't need to have all this overload, and the nature actually helps us release that overload. Healy is beautiful for rhythmic realignment. So coming back to your natural rhythms, Healy really does help you with that. But if you don't, if you are always at the computer, going to bed at midnight, watching the blue light screens, you know, 8, 10, 12 hours a day, not ever going out into nature, into air, breathing sunlight, in the morning, doing anything in nature, it's not going to work just by applying frequencies. You're not going to have a lot of change. You need to combine elements together. But Healy is amazing, especially like programs, natural cycles that realign the circadian rhythm and meridians to the natural rhythms of the circadian clock, or Chinese medicine organ clock. Sleep programs, they're amazing to regulate your hormones and your wake and sleep cycles. Hormone balance influences everything in the body. Meridians, because they supply the energy to your bioenergetic field. And coherence, the more you're in coherence with your brain and heart, the better energetic field will be, the better effect you will have to integrate yourself into the environment of nature, the more connected you will be, and the more you're going to be able to discharge and realign. So we need to understand that Healy programs are amazing, but they have a better effect when we use them and combine them with elements of nature. And I'm going to give you separate ones so you can understand how to support yourself. We also forget, and that is something that I've been repeating all the time, healing itself is a rhythm. Because when we are misaligned, we need to come back to a realignment with rhythms. Rhythms, all types of rhythms. So healing itself is a rhythm. Realigning to specific levels of rhythms, and it does not happen overnight, and there's no rush to it. Your body will know exactly what to do, when to do it. We just need to be patient. So make sure that if you want to return to a natural pace to restore your natural state of being, you need to start rebuilding your foundations. Go back to the basics, start with rhythms, start with natural elements. When you incorporate all of those top 5 elements that we are going to look at, all together with incorporating those 5 elements, you are incorporating elements of frequency through Healy. So when you discharge, you release things that are not serving you to be aligned and in balance. You're now replacing them, recharging yourselves, recharging your energy, recharging your alignment to yourself in coherence, so you can come back to energy, you can come back to yourself. And it's really important to be patient. Okay, so nature. We all love nature. That's perfectly fine. But why nature? Nature is a frequency amplifier. So it's not just it's beautiful, it's healing, but when we are using it in combinations of frequencies that are already in resonance with who we are, it enhances our healing. That's why it's such an important part of our transformation, because without it, we wouldn't be able to be who we are. So let's look at why actually nature enhances the frequency healing. When we're using Healy, you're probably using it when you're at work or in your car, or at home, or doing something around you, or doing something while doing something. I like to combine certain programs to actually intentionally do them outside in nature, or I do them with certain practices to actually connect back to my rhythms. But nature itself, combined with frequencies, has an amazing healing and amplifying effect. So when we are in nature, we are grounded, we are hydrated more because we are relaxed and our fascia and our cells are open, and we are more attuned to ourselves and the body and what it needs. And what does that mean? In energy, it means that your bioenergetic field, that little bubble that you imagine around you, that you can't see but we can measure, becomes clear and coherent. So think of it as water. Yeah. So when you have a flat surface of water and that is smooth, so you can literally just slide on it, right? But when you drop a pebble in there and there's like all the waves moving around, the surface is bumpy. So if it's bumpy, means that it's agitated, right? And that can be because of stress, EMFs, and all of that. If it's bumpy, you will not get the receiving part of the frequencies, and you will not be able to integrate it as much as you would if it would be a smooth surface. That's why it's really important when we're using Healy, because Healy frequencies actually work more effectively when EMFs, mental noise, and toxins are reduced. That's why I always say, if you would like to actually shift anything within your body, make sure you open up the detoxification pathways, get rid of the toxins, move your lymph, and support your meridians so you can start tackling things back into balance. You need to come back to the rhythms. And if you're always surrounded by agitated EMFs, and if you're applying frequencies and you're wondering why things are not changing, because you have not eliminated the stress factor. You need to look at the environment and what is causing the agitation and what is pushing you out of the natural rhythm before you support or apply anything else. Back to the basics. And when we are grounded, when we are supported, we are like immersed in this liquid of nature, the frequency of nature, and we are in this beautiful receptive state. Our field is open, we can receive, and we can actually receive fully into ourselves. We are open, we are aligned, we are relaxed. We are not contracted, we don't look where things are coming from, we're not feeling endangered, or we're not feeling insecure or unsafe. We are actually allowing a deeper healing. So think of it like listening to music. So if you are listening to music in a noisy room where you can hardly hear the music that's coming through, or if you're listening into the music in a quiet forest, which one resonates deeper for you? You probably would want to listen into the forest, right? Because the forest is beautiful and you hear the music and you can really immerse yourself into that. It's really important how you do things quality wise, not just quantity wise, because people, you are asking me how many programs per day, what kind of programs, what protocols. That's perfectly fine. But think of quality over quantity. Choose 2 or 3 programs, do them consistently, look at the elements in your environment so you can tackle the foundations and you will start seeing changes. And of course the application matters as well. Like I've seen much better results now with high wave than anything else. Yeah. We also know that frequency is information. So frequencies are like energetic instructions. We know that, right? So the messages, yeah, like non-physical codes that actually, that body receives and it can do something with it. But nature, on the other hand, it actually prepares the soil, which is our body and bioenergetic field. It literally prepares the foundation of it. So these instructions that we are sending to the body can actually land more effectively and they integrate deeply. So nature is a beautiful amplifier and supporter for anything that we want to shift and transform. It also recharges the field, our energetic field. It repairs it, it cleans it, it recharges it. So when we literally disconnected from nature, I don't know if you've noticed this. I know that as soon as I am on the screen too much, I need about 2-3 hours in nature because I need to discharge all of it. When we are completely disconnected from nature and for long periods of time, our energetic voltage in the cell actually drops. So meaning that you lack energy and the cells will start, replicating with defects. And it also can cause symptoms like you can feel fatigue, brain fog, low vitality, emotional flatness. You can even feel emotional irritation. So it's really important to actually go back to nature and recharge. And when we use nature and frequency together, so I like to go hiking, and now I have my high wave, so I use the high wave, but before I just had hay cables and I went hiking. So I use nature and frequency together, and when we use that, we are recharging our in a bioenergetic field, and it's like recharging the batteries in our energetic field on all levels. So we are using the environment influencing our bioenergetic field, and we are actually amplifying the effects of what frequency and information do we want to actually receive. And we have this beautiful balance between both, and we feel rejuvenated. And for example, you can use programs like on Healy, like Energy, Pure Coherence, Meridian programs. There's a lot of other programs as well, but these are like some basic of energetics, yeah, that help you get more energy in. Um, they work. Any program work on Healy that you use works significantly more effectively. Sorry, Mercury retrograde still. More effectively when we actually use it outdoors, like out in nature, when we go immerse in nature. And even if you use it at home, just go out and ground, go for a walk, whatever you do, just make sure that the programs that you're using throughout the day, that you're balancing it out with grounding practices, nature walks, and immersions. Yeah, because that will help you discharge. Okay, what about healing frequencies? Does Healy create frequencies? No. So Healy, the origin of Healy frequencies, they actually come from nature. They do. And many frequencies from Healy are inspired by and extracted from natural phenomena. For example, um, Healy has always drawn on the work, for example, Nuno Nino was one of the first ones, and others as well, like Galen McMakin and other people that practitioners that actually were mapping beneficial frequencies that were resonating with certain organs, tissues, systems in the body, and many of which that actually align with the human biofield and nature. So all the frequencies that we're using in Healy are aligned with nature. They come from nature. We measure them, we scan them, we actually map them and pop them into specific programs. And it's a really beautiful thing because we are emitting nature, we are bringing ourselves back naturally to balance with natural frequencies. And nature itself emits frequency constantly. No matter where you go, even rocks that we thought they were always dead, they emit frequencies. We have trees, plants, water, minerals, and sunlight. They all emit measurable frequencies. We are literally living in a frequency world. Everything's buzzing around us. We just can't hear it or see it properly. And our human body actually responds to these oscillations. It's like trying to resonate with everything around us in the environment, finding our place. And our Healy, our beautiful Healy device actually mimics or supports them to retune your field. So if something's out and you're using frequency while you're in nature, Healy will send frequencies through your body, what your body needs, yeah, because it will know what it needs. But it will also have the impact from the outside environment to actually find resonance. So you can in tune with that environment so you can come back to alignment. So Healy does not create new frequencies. It only delivers well-researched frequencies in coherent, targeted ways, meaning that we are utilizing natural frequencies around us of what we are made of in a natural, coherent state. Meaning that if your body is not coherent, if it's not resonating at the right level, Healy will help it come and bring it back to balance. And together with nature, it will amplify that. And it's literally just reminding your body and yourself and your systems of the natural harmony and coming back to homeostasis. So that's why this is such a powerful pair. Okie dokie. So let's look at the 5 elements. So the 5 big elements of healing through nature are sunlight, earth and grounding, water, air and breath, nature's biofield, which we sometimes call Schumann resonance. Sunlight is the most important thing. Without it, we can't exist. Light is, we are made of light, and light is what actually gives life to us. It also is a nature's daily reset. It resets our systems. It helps us detox, it helps us regenerate, it helps us activate the systems within the body. So why does light matter so much? Sunlight regulates your circadian rhythm, which is your body clock. It's beyond just wake and sleep cycles. It's all the organ cycles. It's everything that's going on as systems within the body. And it's literally balancing your sleep, which is really important for regeneration and detoxification. And it's also not only balancing, but managing your energy. We need to understand that sunlight is crucial for mitochondria functions. So sunlight stimulates vitamin D. So if you think that vitamin D is still a vitamin, you're far behind. Vitamin D is actually a hormone. The new studies actually show that vitamin D is a hormone in our body, and it's influencing so many things within our body that we had no idea before. Intuitively, we did. Science-wise, we didn't. Sunlight also supports our mood through serotonin, because if you are doing sun gazing in the morning, you are actually boosting serotonin in your gut. What does that mean? It actually means that you're healing your gut by just looking at the sun, just letting you know. So if you have issues with the gut, start sun gazing. And we know through science that sunlight actually powers mitochondrial energy production. So if you're lacking energy, start sun gazing morning and night, sunset, sunrise and sunset, because that's how you actually recharge your cells. Now, pair it with Healy, you have an amazing amplifier. You can recharge yourself and regenerate yourself completely differently and much faster. So science actually shows, there was a study in 2004 in the Lancet, which is the medical journal, that vitamin D, which is a hormone, produced from sunlight. So this is not vitamin D3 that you buy in a supplement. And please stop buying that one unless it's from sunlight, because that is made, especially if it's a specific version, it's actually carcinogenic. So make sure that you buy the right supplements if you are buying them. If not, just get it for free. Get out in the sunlight, yeah, and stop putting sunscreen on your body. Get out in the sunlight, clean your skin in the morning, and actually produce vitamin D, because vitamin D actually turns your cholesterol that you're so worried about into repair cells that actually repair everything in the body. So the study itself showed that vitamin D from the sunlight, yeah, helps regulate immunity, bone health, and inflammation. So that sunlight that turns your cholesterol into a productive cells that regenerate your body, it also lowers that inflammation in the body and repairs everything that has been damaged. So sunlight is the most important thing that you could do for your body. And sunlight exposure actually enhances what we call cytochrome C oxidase activity, which is a key mitochondrial enzyme, which is the enzyme in the cell, in the factories of the cell, yeah, that produce energy, for the production of cellular energy. So it's really important for you to, if you're lacking energy, get out in the sun. That's why, I don't know if you ever had this feeling, when I was little, we used to go to Croatia for like a month of holiday, and I used to just lay in the sun all day and swim in the ocean, and I was the most calm person in that 4 weeks of holidays, not just because of holidays, because I was grounded, because I was in the sunlight all the time. I was sun gazing at sunrise and sunset. I was literally immersed into nature all the time. And my energy, my health was completely different. And it's really important to get those elements now to actually recharge our body. So how do we use Healy to support that? So when we're looking at sunlight, we want to look at our bioenergetic field, yeah, because we want to strengthen the bioenergetic field in order to actually accept the light in, so we can hold it. So bioenergetic support, like coherence, bioenergetic boost, are really good programs to use while we're doing like sun gazing in the morning or night. Because that supports natural restoration cycles. So it's the stronger our energetic field is, the stronger we can connect to nature, and the faster we can come to alignment. Natural cycle. If you forgot about that one, if you are thinking of it, there's a date coming in September on the equinox, when you can start the natural cycle, and it guides you through the app, what day, what programs to use. And it literally does restore your natural circadian rhythm, and it helps to balance and rebalance your meridians. I've done mine at the beginning of this year, so I'm going to start a new one. I always do them too. And especially because I'm thinking of going back to Europe this year, and I'm going to the winter time, which is shorter days. From going like here, we're going to have longer days, and then in Europe it's going to be shorter. So I'm going to start my natural cycle to actually start balancing my rhythm, and help with natural stress of the environment. So natural cycle realigns your daily rhythms. It also realigns your circadian rhythm, which is really important. Bioenergetic vitalization programs, if you don't have them, so the programs in there like pineal gland harmony, youth, and cell harmony. Pineal gland is really important for the projection of light and how you receive and actually manage and transform light into things in the body. Youth is what regenerates the cell and DNA, and the cell harmony balances the bioenergetic field. And this is really important for the vitality and energy metabolism, which is important when we're looking at sunlight. So those are the things that you can support yourself when you are starting to implement sunlight, sun gazing into your rhythm. I would recommend you to actually use, for example, one element per week or per month, and then start implementing it into your daily routines, and start experiencing and exploring the Healy programs and see how you actually feel, because you're going to see the changes afterwards. Earth and grounding. Probably heard it. It's, you hear it every single day probably now. But it is recharging through connection. We forget that connection with Earth is really important. Why does it matter? Well, first of all, is when we walk barefoot, swim in the ocean, swim in the rivers, we allow ourselves to be earthed or grounded, yeah? Meaning that we kind of connect to the field of the Earth. What does that mean? It has to do with energetic charges. So the Earth has negative ionic charge, meaning if we normally have a lot of positive ionic charges, because of agitation on our energetic field, we literally create positive ions, and that depletes our energy because our cell is negative ions. Yeah, it's negative charge. So we need to actually discharge anything that's positive in order to keep the balance. So when we actually go and ground, swim in the ocean, lay on the grass, put your feet into the sand, swim in the rivers, you are discharging anything that has positive ions, and you are allowing new space in your body. So you're allowing space for new information that actually then can pair and implement into the cell and into the tissue. So what causes positive ions? Stress, emotional, physical, mental stress, EMF exposure, so screen time, too much indoor time. So even if you're not on the screen or like on computers and phones, even if you're spending your time inside all the time, your appliances, yeah, they actually emit the EMF charge still. So you have a lot of EMF exposure. You need to get out of the house. Yeah, so it's really important to actually get out in nature, completely out of technology. At least agitated technology. There's technology that exists that actually is not agitated. Um, Grounding actually reduces inflammation, it reduces cortisol levels, which is a stress hormone, and chronic pain, while also boosting sleep and calm because it actually balances the charge of your magnetic field. So there was a study done in 2010 in Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine that actually showed that grounding significantly reduced cortisol levels and normalized diurnal rhythms. So diurnal rhythms are a part of circadian rhythms, but they govern sleep-wake cycles, hunger, temperature, different things that we do throughout the day. So day cycles, which means that it actually helped regenerate the body better and give people more energy. And they also measured changes in EEG and EMG, which are electrical charges, so electricity changes in the brain and electricity changes in the muscles. And they show that grounding actually impacts the nervous system within seconds. So it's not a long term, like you need to wait for a long time. As soon as you step on the earth barefoot, as soon as you go into the ocean, you have effect on your body and your nervous system, which is huge. So make sure that you keep grounding. Healy has programs that mimic grounding and they really help. This is my experience. Yeah, this is what I will tell you. So there are grounding programs like Fine Flow, which is 0 hertz. You will see 0 hertz frequency, which is literally, it doesn't show, but it's literally the Earth grounding frequency. But sometimes people, when they run Fine Flow, the current doesn't run. So that means that you have too many positive ions. So it means that you need discharging. So you need to spend more time on Earth. And while running Fine Flow, if you want to. In Mag Healy, you have Earth, spheric, and pressure that all help balance the bioenergetic field of the Earth and you. And I love the new Earth connection in Cell Wave program. I've actually run it together with Presence program, which is the Mind Wave program. And I found just amazing feeling in the body. Like there was this beautiful calm and grounded, but this beautiful expansion and processing of all this information. It was a completely different experience. But if you don't have the Cell Wave, Mind Wave programs with Mind Wave, you can still use bioenergetic defense programs like geopathy and stuff. You have planets in there. Fine Flow for grounding, Earth, spheric pressure. Those are all great on MAG if you have them. Because if you're using grounding programs while you're out in nature, it does amplify the coherence with Earth Schumann resonance, meaning that you are literally becoming aligned with nature. And that means that you are processing your charges within the body, in the cell, and energy much better. Of course, when we're looking at earthing and grounding, nervous system and sleep regulation is important, because if you don't have nervous system regulation, then you are dysregulated, meaning that it's going to be harder to ground because you're going to need longer times and longer periods before you discharge everything that's agitating the nervous system before the nervous system calms down. You can ground at the same time as using programs like bed rest, which is literally working on adrenal glands, balanced sleep to actually have the whole systematic sleep system in the body balanced and tuned. And while you're grounding, you're actually helping reset the nervous system. Hormone harmony is great because hormones are influencing your sleep and nervous system. Care, if you just have a gold cycle, care is beautiful and balanced. Then if you have MAG, I use sleep and Vegas harmony on MAG Healy in Macon, which I love. I've been doing it for a long time, and it helps me sleep much deeper and regulates my nervous system much deeper, because I've been healing my nervous system for a long time. And now I'm finally coming close to the end, of just managing. But it's really important to help the body regulate the nervous system. And of course, Healy resonance, because our bioenergetic field and aura, so aura and chakra programs, as soon as you have your bioenergetic field and auric field strong, you can ground and discharge much faster. So scanning the aura and vibrating, and then using, for example, root chakra programs, are really important to actually help ground your body to earth. Water. Water. Love water. It's the conductor of life. Water matters because hydration actually affects electrical conductivity, and it affects the flow of frequency in your body. And we know that. We've looked at that when we looked at Mag Healy water training, or Mag Healy trainings at all, because Mag Healy works on the structured water within the body. And if we can, ideally, we would just drink structured water. We would bathe in structured water because our body loves to bathe in structured water. So ocean is structured water, for example. Waterfalls and creeks are structured water. And when we do find structured water in nature, like springs, rain, for example, if it's clean, if there's no chemicals in it, rivers, waterfalls, oceans, those are all structured water. In structured water in nature actually carries natural frequencies, and it carries minerals that the body recognizes. So I don't know if you ever had the feeling when you went under a waterfall and you were bathing, or jumping into that waterfall. It's a completely different feeling when you come out. It's the same as going into the ocean, or jumping in the rain. It's different than going to a shower. So there's a different feeling on the body and within the body, because structured water carries information. There's new research that I've read the other day, about rain and why it smells so fresh. It has to do with bacteria and the information that bacteria is actually emitting through the field. It actually carries certain enzymes that actually create rain to smell fresh, which is really interesting. But yeah, frequency and hydration are important together, because they actually create clearer cellular communication. So Mag Healy water programs are really important here. So there has been studies from Gerald Pollack's research on easy water, which is exclusion zone water, that actually highlights how structured water near hydrophilic surfaces, which is the surface of the water, supports better bioelectricity. Meaning, what does it mean? Because the cell is also made of oils, but it has water. So the stronger the cell membrane and the cell structure and the water structure within that cell is, better transition of information we have, meaning better functions of our systems of the body. So in 2013, there was a study that confirmed that structured water can store and transfer electromagnetic frequencies. That's what Mag Healy is using to actually transfer that information to the water and to the body. So some programs to actually help you. So if you don't live next to the spring, if you don't have a waterfall, in your backyard, that's okay. Just make sure that you have filtered water, not tap water, that you don't have chlorine and fluoride in there, that you don't have heavy metals in there. And when if you have Mag Healy and you use Mag Healy water programs to actually structure the water, because we want to structure the water, because that's what we are carrying within the body. That's how we get hydrated. So if you don't have structured water, you don't actually get hydrated. Just letting you know. Even if you're drinking the water that's not structured and that water is void of minerals, you're now drinking the water, not hydrating yourself, but also leaking minerals out of the body. So make sure that you add minerals into your water, that you structure your water through Mag Healy if that's the only thing you have, and that you have filtered water. Ideally, in the ideal world, we would bathe under the waterfalls and drink out of springs and have fun in the ocean. But today we live in a modern world, so we need compromises. So we need to actually support stem cells and stimulate the cells. So programs like bioenergetic vitalization, cell harmony, MEG, Healy Classic, bioinformation and digital nutrition, and cell harmony in bioenergetic defense. Those are really good programs to have the integrity of the bioenergetic field, to stimulate the cell, to actually have better care transformation, information carrying abilities. As I said, water programs in MAG Healy to actually have clearer cellular communication throughout the body. And then, of course, kidneys and lymphatic system is what actually is connected to the water in the body, because kidneys are what are eliminating the balancing and managing the acidic and alkaline balance in the body. They're also managing minerals. Lymphatic system manages toxins, which is also this disruption of the communication. So make sure that you use programs for that if your kidneys are not at their best health, which majority of people don't have. And then, of course, detoxification. We've done detoxification too many times, but you need to take care of that, because we live in a world, especially if you live in cities, too many heavy metals, too many toxins that are interrupting the communication within your body. Okay, air and breath. Air and breath are energy in motion. So air is what moves energy through your body. And why does it matter? Well, breath is your life force. It moves what we call ki, chi, whatever you want to call it, energy through the body. And it actually is a bridge between the inner and the outer energy, the world around you. So it's literally what allows you to give and to receive energy. So in exchange. So breath is crucial. And if your pathways like lungs and kidneys, which are detoxification pathways, are closed, your breath, your energy will be low as well. And cautious breathing improves oxygenation, detoxification, and emotional regulation. We all need to understand that breath is also aligned with vagus nerve activity, which goes from here down to the gut, and it goes through your chest, your lungs, meaning that your breath will control your nervous system, because vagus nerve is the largest nerve in the body, and it controls your nervous system, and it also controls your digestion. So if you have any issues with gut, if you have any issues with nervous system, fatigue and stuff, start breathing. Yeah, really start breathing. Because vagus nerve is what governs your rest and digest, or rest and restore system. There was a study on breath work that found that it enhances heart rate variability, which is HRV, which we also have programs in digital nutrition on the watch program. Sometimes if you scan and also watch programs that watch, I think it's a watch programs and watch digital nutrition for the heart rate variability. So heart rate variability is a key marker for nervous system health. So if those programs are coming up for you on when you scan on resonance or Healy programs, that means that you are under stress, that your nervous system is agitated, that something is actually giving you a lot of stress, so the heart rate is out. So it's too high and not low. So you need to actually start regulating your nervous system. In 2017, a study actually was done in Frontiers in Psychology that actually showed breathwork improves emotional regulation and stress resilience. So there's breathwork techniques, there's millions of them, but the one that actually showed really huge improvement in lowering cortisol levels in like 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, I think it was 70% lower cortisol levels in 5 minutes, was 468 or 448. So 4 inhale, 4 hold, 8 exhale. You can do also 4 inhale, 6 hold, and 8 exhale. For me, I have a larger capacity now, so I sometimes just prolong it. So I do 4 inhale and then do 6 hold and 10 exhale. And sometimes I do like 4 inhale and then 8 hold and 12 exhale. So, but the one that it's basic, it's 4-4-8 or 4-6-8, because that's something that really lowers your cortisol. But if you want to start with something basic, you can do box breathing, which is 4-4-4-4. So 4 inhale, 4 hold, 4 exhale, 4 hold. So that also helps to move the air. And the more you regulate your nervous system, the longer you can go. Like instead of 4, you can do 5-5-5-5, 6-6-6-6. So it's really important to breathe, because majority of us are so contracted and under stress that we don't know how to breathe anymore. Some programs to help you open up your lungs and open up your chest and release that tension. Any programs from the lungs, I gave you lungs. And then, of course, supporting your immune system. So detoxing your air pathways and supporting your immune system. And then, of course, stress programs, mental balance, sleep programs, learning programs. Those are all great for stress. And there's some programs like in deep relaxation in fitness, or circulation in fitness, joy of life in digital nutrition, you can add on. And this will support your emotional well-being. So the more you breathe, the more you support your emotional well-being. I like to have breath techniques and do like emotional Healy program, like emotional well-being, or mental balance acute, or stress systemic, which is in learning. So, or stress acute if you want a shorter version. So you can run those programs and do breath work in between, because then you move the energy through the body, through the organs, out of the body, and replace it with new thoughts, new emotions, new energy. So you trap that frequency in the body. And then, of course, frequency plus rest, which I literally just said, which amplifies your parasympathetic reset, meaning that you come back to rest and digest system. And the last one is nature's biofield, which is the Schumann resonance, the Earth's frequency symphony, because everything is connected. So it matters because nature emits its own biofield. Trees, flowers, animals, minerals, everything radiates coherent frequencies. So immersing yourself in forests and gardens, like I said before, it actually entrains your energy field back into balance and resonance. If you spend a month in nature, you'll be a completely different person. It actually showed that even a few minutes in natural environments can reset your entire field. Even listening to sounds of nature, like we did before, it actually helps you feel safe, because your body understands birds as safety or nature as safety. So you can incorporate that into your day as well. So studies have shown, like Japanese forest bathing, research actually shows it reduces stress hormones, boosts immunity, and enhances NK cell activity. NK is natural killer cells, which are in essence immune cells, but the ones that actually clean up all the cancer cells and things that are in the body that are not proliferated correctly. So, which is really important. So forest and nature is important. In 2008, there was a study in environmental health and preventative medicine that actually proved nature walks decrease cortisol, heart rate pulse, yeah, and blood pressure. So blood pressure is also connected to your kidneys. It has nothing to do with your heart. It has everything to do with your kidneys. So make sure that you have enough pressure, enough water, the right information into the water, so you can balance your blood pressure. And if the blood pressure is too high, that also means that you're probably lacking sunlight. Healy programs to support you. Of course, we have enormous amount of nature frequencies in Healy resonance databases, from Bach flowers, Australian bush flowers, Alaskan gem elixirs, creative homeopathy, Schüssel salts, plant power database. So many of them are literally nature's frequencies. And when you use resonance, they all work in coherently with nature. So they are coming from nature and they are nature. And if you actually combine it together, going into nature and using those frequencies, you'll have an amplified effect. And any program in your Blue app, which is the resonance app, will work with Earth's natural magnetic field, because you're strengthening your magnetic field, your bioenergetic field, And that strengthens the connection to the Earth's bioenergetic field. How do you strengthen your body's field? Well, because you want to do that to connect. One of them is the aura module. Yeah, the cleaner your pathways are, the stronger your bioenergetic field. And you can do the reading through that. You can see where the blockages are, where the surface is rough, and you can adjust that. And then, of course, hygiene of your bioenergetic field, cleaning your bioenergetic field is important so you can actually receive the right information. So bioenergetic support and bioenergetic defense programs are really good, so you can clean and strengthen your field. I will give you all of that in the group so you can get all the slides, you can get all the information from today's training. But that's about it. I've been long today because we had meditation. But if there's any questions, I'm going to stop sharing. If there's any questions, pop your hands up. You can pop a hand up or pop it into the chat. Otherwise, we're done for today. How to do sun gazing. Just look at the sun without filter. Those with cataracts, okay. Yes, so I use an app. I think it's Sun Gazer. I think it's called Sun Gazer. But you can use an app. It will tell you, you can pop your location in, and it will tell you exactly in the morning the safe space for sun gazing and the safe space for sun gazing at night. Normally the interval is 1 hour. So when the sun comes up, sunrise, 1 hour after the sunrise and 1 hour before the sunset. The way I do it, make it gradual. So if you're lacking vitamin D, you will probably be sensitive to light. And even if you have cataracts, it's perfectly fine because light actually goes through the eye and through the skin anyway. So when I started doing things, I was starting 5 seconds at a time. So I would look at the sun directly with my eyes open, count to 5 seconds, close my eyes, count about 10, 20 seconds to calm my eyes and open my eyes again for 5 seconds. So I do that multiple times until I manage to get to 10, 20, 30 seconds. And now I can look at the sun without a problem for about a minute and a half. So you need to build on it. And especially if you're sensitive to light, if your eyes go like this, it's okay. Your eyes are actually adjusting to the sun. Just make sure that you do not do sun gazing directly into the sun after that hour in the morning, because that can burn because the light is strong. If you can't do it right in the morning, like right in the first hour of sunrise, make sure that when you go out, that you do not look at the sun directly with your eye. Just close your eyes and the sunlight will come through the eyes anyway, and you are now adjusting and preparing yourself to actually look at the sun with your eyes open. So there's techniques, you can Google it, there's multiple options you can do, but I love doing it. It just resets everything in my body, and I feel much happier with that. So I hope this answers your question. Yes, I know, but you can use the Wordly app for Spanish translation. Can we drink water for plants? What do you mean drink water for plants? Is that if you do the plants structured water from Healy, if you can drink that, or I don't understand what that means. This is so valuable. Love to do the thank you. Love you to the moon back. Water of Healy thought for plants of Healy works so powerful plants. Yes, it doesn't matter. For plants, it just means that it has the frequency, structured water frequency that the plants really need. But you can still drink it. I've drank it many times. I sometimes use plants on my body, like Healy program plants, water program, which is 10 minutes. I just pop it on my belly and I run that if I feel like I'm disconnected from nature. If I'm in the office, for example, or somewhere in the city and I feel like I'm lacking that, I'm just running that. That's just how I do stuff. Try it on your body. I'm not saying that this is going to work for you the way it does for me, because we're different, right? But try it and see how that works for you. Must we avoid metal, jewelry, and phone EMFs when using my Healy? Healy or Healy? Um, no, you don't need to. I have phone with me all the time. But I do like, so if I do my Healy, I like to transfer my program onto my Healy and then I close the app. So I literally turn off my Bluetooth. So I just have my program running on my Healy. So I do this with the Highway now as well, which I really love. I have to tell you this. Okay, I need to tell you this. So you all know that I've done the training for Highway in the last month and I've been testing it since then. And you know me, I experiment all this stuff, right? So I started doing the Cellway programs, and after after 2 weeks, they completely disappeared from my all Healy scan programs. So now I don't get them on Cellway, Mindway, don't get them on my list at all. So I've been regenerating my cells, regenerating and recalibrating my brain. And then I said, okay, let's do this. And I want to try all Healy programs. So I started doing all Healy programs, scanning every single day. And I know because I've been under stress lately with some family stuff into this year. And sleep programs and nervous system programs have been coming up really regularly, like even the digital nutrition watch programs, which is the heart variability, which literally tells me my body's and nervous system is under stress. So I started using Highway application for all my programs. So I do literally the whole list of programs on all Healy, and I started applying it with Highway. 2 week, 3 weeks in, 3 weeks in, I had no nervous system and no sleep programs come up. I did do grounding. I went to nature. I went sun gazing in the morning and all of that. I did do my nature, 5 top nature elements. But in 3 weeks, they went off the list. Before Highway, I needed at least 3 months to actually get them under 30%. Now they went completely off the list. So I've been really, really, really enjoying my Highway lately, just letting you know. And I've been experimenting with so many things. So hopefully I'll get to do the trainings in the future and tell you. But I just wanted to give you the insight of my exploration. So if you have Highway, start doing that. It really, really, really supports the body. Okay. I even inform my, okay, the, yeah. I love my mag. I use it all the time. Like seriously. Lately I've been doing Highway in combination with my Mag Healy Meridian programs, which I've been loving as well. Can Healy work for my daughter? Too much acne and dull dark skin. She has too much low iron, so she is always okay. So Healy can work for anyone except for the adverse effects that you need to be aware of. Um, Acne is connected to gut and kidneys, and liver, and stress, nervous system connection. There's also toxins in the body. If she has dark skin, I don't know if it's dark skin all over the body or if it's just under the eyes. If it's under the eyes, it's definitely kidneys and liver. For those of you here that have Chinese medicine and acupuncture, all that, different elements. But if she's low on iron, there's different things you can do. Either there's an absorption issue, so intestine, so small intestine elements that you need to look at. And there's also the absorption of iron, what type of iron she's using. It could be methylation problem. There's so many things that you could look at. But as I said, you need to look at, are all the elements of nature present? If you're doing the natural elements, then you can look at what to support. Because if her nervous system is not regulated, and if she's disconnected and she's agitated and all of that, it's influencing her body. So all of that you just said is just symptoms literally screaming at her, hey, something needs to change. And it's not about finding fixes, it's about finding solutions to the root cause of the problem. Yeah. Um, does aura healing brings emotions on surface, or feel do we feel low? I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. I'm worried about titanium plates of people. It has not been demonstrated that it can harm, right? I understand it will seem the way not help as well. It's this. Okay, so anything metal in the body, we've done this, like we've talked about it too many times. And um, the guys in US as well, they do the Tech Tuesday. They talked about this as well. So if you search for that, anything metal in the body will diverse frequency in a different way that a normal tissue body will. So you need to be aware of. So highway, for example, if you have electrodes with metal plates in the body, it will affect you because metal will transmit energy completely differently. If you have coil, then this is a gentler way of application. It should be okay. But if you have high wave, it will go throughout the body evenly, and where it will hit the metal, it might have agitation. So you need to test this on yourself and start small and low. And if you have plates in your hands, you might use electrodes on your wrists, like on your ankles. Like there's so many things that you could do to adjust that. Or you can use, coil to actually help your body regenerate differently. But as always, start with the foundation, then build on it. Um, You're welcome. Got Healy for my wife. Beautiful, beautiful present. She has acute pain in her heels, but her pain is not going. She does all the programs suggested when she analyzed fear. Well, as I said, it's not only the frequency. So if you're just applying frequencies and not looking at the foundations, if she's not in nature, if she's not grounding, if she's not discharging, if she's not moving and exercising, if she's not actually having enough water and enough minerals in her body, and if she's been depleting her body of minerals for years, it's going to take a long time to actually rebuild those minerals. And normally, if there's pain, like heel pain and stuff, that's also heels, the balls of the heels, like on your feet, yeah, they're connected to your pelvic floor, your hips, yeah, your reproductive organs. So there's a lot of pressure, especially for women. There's a lot of suppression in there. So that could be emotional suppression of energy. It could be fascia tissue, which goes connected together. So if you do start stretching the fascia, bringing more energy, oxygen, and blood into it, you can actually support frequency and actually combine it together with natural elements. So it's not a magic pill. It's about creating an environment that actually helps your body. Im, I'm not proper understand your answer. Can Healy have programs related? What issue my daughter have? There's plenty of programs related to the issues, but as I said, there's not just one issue that your daughter is actually facing. There's multiple challenges that are and symptoms that are surfacing for her that you need to go deeper. You need to look at what is actually causing all of that and where is the root cause. So look at all the basic symptoms and start, changing and shifting that, and then apply programs alongside of it. That's all I can give you right now because I don't have any information. Does it also affect if one has nose and ear piercing in terms of things? Well, if you have ear piercings and you put your ear clips directly on your ears, yeah, you'll feel it. Trust me. So make sure that you put it on your tissue, not on your earrings. Yeah, be smart. Just letting you know. Okay. Oh, sorry, Harsha, I didn't even see your hand. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Hi, Petra. Thank you for the information you've given us.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have a thing that my father is in ICU and his heart rate is 15% at present and his creatinine level is high to 2.6 or 2.7. He actually, first he had a brain hemorrhage before and in June 2024. And I think in this last week, he had a cardiac arrest. His body was almost dead, but they retrieved him in 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But at present, he's still on little of ventilation and life-saving medicines. So I would like you to know, give me a suggestion what programs, because I already did the analysis. So the analysis, what is showing me for him is bioenergetic defense programs,
Mm.
goal cycle programs, fitness programs, beauty programs, and soul cycle programs.
Yeah.
So these
I'm
are the
so sorry to
elements.
hear that. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry to hear that. Unfortunately, as I said, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you that. But anything with hospitals, especially ventilators and stuff, they're machines. So, and the body, we need to understand when the body does not have enough life energy in order to actually process the additional frequencies, we need to be really gentle. Yeah. So I can't give you advice, but this is what I would do. Yeah. I would start with resonance and nothing more. And you could do, like, if you go into the hospital, if they allow you, I would put Meg Healy atmospheric programs there. But I would not overwhelm him with frequencies. I would really gently vibrate resonance in order to actually help him slowly come back. And because there's so many different elements there, right? So he has machines. He also has probably a lot of medication in his body. So his body's has a lot of toxins to deal with. And there needs to be stages, he needs to get off, start breathing on his own, blah, blah, blah. So there's stages into healing. So it's the only thing I would do if I would be in your place, and I'm not saying that this is advice at all, because it's not, I would probably start with resonance. I would just be applying about 3 lists of programs per day and slowly see how he responds. Because resonance is really powerful. You're creating an environment for him to choose. And if he chooses, his body, his soul chooses, then he will choose. But pushing any too many frequencies on the body, especially at this fragile state, it's risky. Yeah. And not that
okay,
frequencies are risky, it's that his body's capacity is low. Yeah.
okay,
So, and
okay,
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know the situation. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know energetically, emotionally. There's so many elements you can look at. But from your perspective, even your intention of healing and love and sending vibrational frequency through resonance will do a lot. Yeah. So we are more powerful than we think we are. And
right.
trust yourself. And sometimes I don't want this to sound rude or offend. Please don't take this as offensive. But I lost my father in 2019, and he taught me how to pick flowers, how to connect with nature, everything. And then he was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in September of 2018. And I knew exactly in that month that he is not going to be on the earth for more than 6 months. And that's exactly what happened. And he chose to do traditional chemotherapy and everything else. And although I didn't understand it, it was his path. And no matter how much I wanted to do and give him everything that I wanted, um, he chose a different path. So sometimes we need to also learn, sometimes the hard way, but we need to learn when to let go and actually allow things to happen, because we all have our own journey. And it's it's hard, but I'm just saying that the only thing you can do is hold the space for him to decide what he wants to do, and give him the love and the safe space and the loving frequencies that you can send him, and love him. The rest,
Thank you
it's
so
on
much.
him. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry to hear about your father too, Petra. And
Thank
even with
you.
that, I'm giving homeopathic. That's what suggested to me. With the
You
resonance, I'm giving homeopathic also.
So creative homeopathy comes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
those
not
are
tough.
stresses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
stresses on his physical body. So his body is really stressed. So his physical body is stressed. Maybe try running aura to see what the energetics are. I would look at the energetics, so what his soul is actually asking for. And then tune in. And you know your father the best. Like, I'm not here to give you any advice because I don't know him. You are his daughter and you know him more than I do. So you will know what to do, and trust your intuition and trust your heart. Yeah,
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so
you're
much.
welcome. No worries. Okie dokie. That's about it. Contact lenses, sun gazing, no. Take everything out. I put my glasses off as well. So it needs to be eye directly on the sunlight. Okay, this is it for tonight. Next week you have Christy, and then we're back again. If you have any questions, as I said, you can go into Facebook group, or all the recordings are also on YouTube channel from Healy APAC. You can find them on my YouTube channel as well. You can ask questions in the group. I'm always in there, and there's also many people that will support you. The recording from this will be uploaded as soon as I get the link from Healy World. That will probably be next week. But that's about it for tonight. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a beautiful night and beautiful weekend. I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.